With blood and rage of crimson red, ripped from a corpse so freshly dead, together with our hellish hate, we'll burn you all. That is your fate.
This is Red Lantern Russell from
Tomes of Evil,
and you're listening to Sector 2814, a Green Lantern podcast.
Hi, this is Phil, and I'm here to tell you all about the Capes and Lunatics Patreon. Don't miss out on our comic book creator interviews, including our monthly Chichester chats with comic book legend D.G. Chichester, superhero movie brackets in our search for the worst comic book movie of all time, and many, many more specials, all completely uncensored. Access starts for $3 a month, full video when you pledge $5 a month. Check out the link in our show notes or go to patreon.com/CapesandLunatics. Hope to see you there.
This is Luke of Perich, and you're listening to the Capes and Lunatics Sidekicks podcast.
In brightest day,
in blackest nights,
no evil shall escape my sight,
but those who worship evil's might.
Beware my power.
Green Lantern's light. Hello and welcome back to Sector 2814, the Green Lantern podcast. I am Phil. Joining me as always, Master of the Core, it is.
I am Will. Hey, everyone.
And again, no Matt Kona, hopefully soon. But if you want to hear Will and Matt, today as we record this, yes, Ultimate Spider-Cast 175 dropped on the Capes and Lunatics podcast, so you can hear them with me and Will talking Spider-Man and the Avengers. Very good episode, if I do say so myself.
So little Quasar content, though. You know.
Very little, yes. Alright, so yes, today, this week is the kind of, well, we have issue 90, Green Lantern 91, we got Annual 6, but we're kind of batting a little cleanup too with Annual 3.
Mm-hmm.
Which, Annual 6 and 91, I mean, they're kind of around the same time, but you can do pretty much do those in either order, and
yeah.
Annual 3 is an Elseworlds, so basically the three issues we're doing tonight, we can do in any order we want, so.
Exactly.
And there was only one of the annuals on the DC app, so I had to pull the other annual out of the archive downstairs. And it will surprise you. It might surprise you. It surprised me if one of these annuals is on the app and one isn't. I would have thought it was the other way around, but
they put the Nazis on the app.
Yes. And I'm like, why did you put up Annual 6 on there? It's just like another Kyle Rayner story.
Yeah, Annual 6 was good. I mean, Jeff Johnson was doing the art. It's beautiful art. It was a fun story.
I didn't do a deep dive, but it might just be the fact that I don't know if they put any of the annuals that year on the app, so that might just be the reason. I don't know. Maybe they're getting there. I don't know. It's not very infinite, DC.
It's very finite.
Exactly. I know we're beating that joke into the ground, but, prove me wrong. All right. The news. Yes, we've gotten announcements about Dark Crisis.
Yep.
Yes, each of the Justice League members is kind of getting their own special, like Death of the.
What are they called? Like Justice League.
Oh, it's like World. I think it's like World Without the Justice League. Like World Without Super. Because again, 30th anniversary of Superman's death. But
yeah, and then it's like Dark. Then Green Lantern. And then, they're going to have one-shots, I think, so, which is weird because, there are lots of Green Lanterns, so...
Yeah, but I'm assuming it's going to be John because it's focusing on the Justice League members. Yeah, because, like, Wonder Woman, Green Arrow, of course, Batman, Superman, they're all getting their one-shots. Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, Batman. Kids, I know you've been, they've kept you hanging, not a lot of Batman content, but yes, Batman is going to get a one-shot.
Batman. My favorite character.
That's right. Where's the green one? But yeah, because kids, the bad news is, remember we was like, oh hey, maybe we'll get an ongoing Green Lantern book when Dark Crisis is over. They put the checklist out today, kids. It goes to December.
Oh wow.
Yes,
you're right. I just noticed that you sent me the checklist.
Yes, Dark Crisis number 7 and Dark Crisis Warzone number 1 are both in December, kids. So we may not get an ongoing.
August.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yes.
Dark Crisis World Without a Justice League Green Lantern number 1. Wow, that is a long title.
Yes. So, yeah, we may not get it ongoing until 2023, Will.
Wow, that is so weird.
But again, it's like, why? John's the only one who's supposedly dead. I mean, again, it seems like Hal's going to be playing a part in Dark Crisis. Do a Hal book or do it
like Joe. I think we see Joe. We know that Joe and
yes.
Spoilers, everyone. Joe and Simon.
Basically, everyone's able to be is starring a book except for John at the moment.
Well, except for Guy and Kyle. We don't know.
We have no
idea what happened to them at this point.
But supposedly, didn't John like reactivate? You know, for those of you who haven't read Green Lantern 12, like reactivated all those rings and everything.
Well, but they weren't on Oa, and where were they when their rings went out? And I don't know the answer.
That's easy enough solve. Hal and everyone else can just go out into the universe and
And then we have confirmed dead lanterns like Aricia, and Simon can apparently talk to the dead. I don't know how that works.
And again, one, it's comics. Two, how many times has Aricia been dead? At least one that I can think of.
Yeah. True.
But yeah, so yeah, kids, the whole thing started. Did we talk Justice League 75? I know you probably didn't get it yet, or did you get it?
No, I haven't picked it up.
Okay, I did. I'm trying to remember.
I don't think we have talked about it. Tell me about it. Tell me about Justice League.
It's hard to remember because I know I talked it with Lilith and Charlie. Okay, yeah. So basically, again, it's like I said, by page 2, most of the Justice League are teleported away from wherever they're at. Like John's like teleported off of Oa.
Oh yeah, you said that John comes in all full power, but then there's this wave that hits him or something.
Yeah, well, he's like, I can bring the God Storm and all this, and they're having their Avengers moments because John seems like he's gonna snap. Oliver Queen shooting the arrow and but yeah, it seems like an antimatter wave because in a familiar looking scene, most of the Justice League kind of crumbles to dust. Yeah.
And it's Pariah, right?
It's Pariah, yeah, and he's like, I don't know if it's like the villains have been possessed by the what is that, Great Darkness or whatever, or like it just made versions of them. But yeah, the Justice League pretty much won, but then they got hit with this antimatter wave. And of course, the only one to survive, because he has plot armor, because he has a movie coming, Black Adam is the only one thrown back to Earth to crash into the Hall of Justice and, tell Superman's son and Wally West, they're dead, the Justice League is dead.
Okay.
And the only reason he escaped because he yelled Shazam.
Oh, okay.
Yes. Calling down that lightning. Yeah. You knew it was going to happen because he had a movie.
Yeah. So, we know we're getting the Emerald, John Stewart and the Emerald Knights. That's coming in, I think, is it December? Maybe? I don't know.
Well, again, Dark Crisis ends in December, so I wouldn't be surprised if they're like, hey, new start, January 2023.
And we don't know if that's going to, that's literally not a Green Lantern book. It's not Green Lantern. It's John Stewart and the Emerald Knights.
But it seemed like he was rocking his, a lot of power in that Justice League thing. Mm-hmm. He didn't save him, but, he was glowing green the whole time. And
I'm wondering if the rings in the Dark Sector start working now.
Maybe.
Because he's there. I don't know.
But it's interesting. But no, here's the theory I wanted to talk to you about because, all these Justice League members are getting these one shots.
Mm-hmm.
The theory I've seen online, which makes sense, is Barry Allen's been missing for like the last couple months, and like the only one or two times they've shown him, he's like kind of like someone has him like locked in like this. I don't know if it's another universe or what, but it looks like like an idealized version of what he'd want. It's like the one scene they showed was like him having breakfast with like Iris and Jay Garrick and the Wallies and Bart. So kind of like an idealized thing. So I'm like, if they try to give John an idealized version of whatever existence he's want, how much would I bet Katma's going to be there?
Katma too yet? We need to bring her back.
And I'm just saying, if he's still rocking that power level, is there any way, even if it's not the real, he can like pull Katma out of there?
I really think that is the only thing from the Action Comics run that has actually stuck.
Yes.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
The rest of it is willfully and sometimes gleefully ignored. But that's the only thing, and it's such a wasteful, stupid death, right?
Exactly. Yes.
So, yes, I'd love to see Katma come back, but
again, kids, and it's another lantern. It's another female lantern. Let's do it.
Mm-hmm. And a veteran
yes
lantern.
Yes.
that had been around for Green Lantern in the 60s, right? So like number 20 something?
Something like that, yeah. And think about this. Think how long she's been dead. It was what, the late 80s? Cal never met her. Simon, Jessica, Joe. I mean, she was dead before.
She's been around longer than Kilowog, around longer than Salak.
She thought she got killed before Green Lantern #1 in 1990.
Yeah.
Can you imagine her trying to catch up on stuff? Wait, there was an Emerald Twilight. What? Parallax? What?
Let's see. Looks like she first appeared in 1964.
Yeah, because she appeared before John, right?
Yeah, she appeared long before John, because he was in the 70s during Green Lantern, Green Arrow. Was that Green Lantern 85, perhaps?
Maybe. Oh, yeah, maybe. Oh, you know what we can do? By the time we get there, we might have a better idea of what that thing is going to be. If we wanted to, if there's a hint of this going down, episode 100, we could do a big Katma special or something.
We could certainly do that, yeah.
Because let me pull up the schedule here, the handy schedule here, because I believe it's towards the end of the year, too. So, thanks to...
Well, actually, and, we had talked about, too, of maybe just spotlighting other Lanterns, their first appearances. She's a great Lantern that we could, add to that list, or we could just focus on her.
Yeah, because, let me see, episode 100 will drop... Oh, that would work. Yeah, no, episode 100 is going to be in January.
Cool.
So we might know by then if it's going to be if Katma's coming back.
Number 30, July of 1964.
Wow.
So she's around before Guy.
Oh yeah.
Before John. Before Kyle.
Pretty much everyone except Hal. Yeah.
Hal and maybe Tomar Ray.
Yeah.
Tomar Ray and Sinestro showed up before she did. So.
I mean, come on, we need more female Lanterns, especially if Arisia's dead.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
So yeah, hopefully, if anything comes out of Dark Crisis, we're going to correct that error, that F up that they did however many years ago.
30 years ago?
Because
Wait, no. It was over 30 years ago.
Exactly. No, yeah.
Well, I mean, it's really cool because, Mosaic was basically about 30 years ago, and you've got Jeff Thorne, the writer of this volume of Green Lantern, plus John Stewart and the Emerald Knights, going back and pulling plot points out of that, and Mosaic's been ignored for a couple of reasons. One of them is kind of bad, but
and two, I'm just, even if he doesn't pull it out of there, she's got it. If it's in his idealized world, she has to be there. Because I mean, look at Mosaic; she showed up.
Yeah, at the end of Mosaic, she was there.
Then Dark Stars, he wakes up. Where's Katma?
Yeah, and then she showed up, in this run a little bit when he was flipping around different realities, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I need to come back. I need to reread those 12 issues because 12 after 11 they don't hang together for me well, and I just need to reread them and get a better sense of what the whole story is, because I wonder
if there's any editorial thing in there that's like, hey, you got to wrap it up at 12 and you have to have John at a certain point because, Death of the Justice League is coming, maybe?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, they already knew. I mean, I think the pitch was, here is the entire pitch for these issues. And then actually his, if you go to his Patreon, he has some annotations set up, and he talks about, what he was allowed to do, what he wasn't allowed to do. And this is, the first part was Invictus, I think. That was the first 6 issues. The last 6 issues of this was, I think, Horatius, based on a poem title. And then there's one more part to it, which I think is going to be Green Lantern and the Emerald Knights. I noticed he was on a podcast that I haven't had a chance to watch yet, so I'm looking forward to that.
Oh, come on, Jeffrey Thorne, come talk to us. Doing podcasts, I'll have to try to reach out again. I swear I've reached out before, but I'm going to try again.
Let's see. It was just posted in Reddit, I think, yesterday, day before, maybe.
But yeah, I mean, come on, Jeffrey Thorne, please talk to us. All right. Should we get to some of these issues? Well,
let's do it. 2 of them are really good.
Oh, yeah.
One of them I have big problems with, but we'll get there.
Should we do that one first, get it over with, or how do you want to do this?
Let's do that.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, surprisingly, this one was on the app. Out of the 2 annuals, I thought if anything was going to be on the app, it'd be this one, but no, it's on there.
No, it's on there. Yeah. First, let me say there are no sympathetic Nazis. Okay.
Yeah, no.
What do we try to have in this issue? Sympathetic Nazis? No, it's just no.
The only sympathetic one really is John in this issue.
Yeah, I mean it's the 2 rings and the
yes. I think I have this downstairs too. I remember. I think I bought this when it was pretty much new, and I remember thinking back then, what is this? What is this?
Well, and I know I have the issue of annual 6. I'm sure I have this issue too. I know I have the issue 6 annual because I've looked at the cover somewhere around here.
Yeah,
but I don't think I ever got a chance to read it.
What, 6?
And I'm like, yeah, and I'm like, wow, this was really good. I wish I'd have read it, 30 years ago.
You mean you buy comics and there's some you haven't read?
I've got stacks, man, stacks.
Oh my!
2 read pile.
I can't go that long. If I buy something, I have to read it.
Yeah.
All right. So.
So yeah, let's go ahead and get the credits, and we can.
All right,
start.
kids. Yeah, because all right, because this is from 1994. All the annuals this year were Elseworlds annuals, so I think that might be part of the problem. These guys were just like let off the hook. It's like, oh, you can do whatever you want. It's like, oh, really? You want here?
You want to do Nazis? Yeah, no, thank you.
Yeah, because here I'll do the credits, but yeah, the writer and the artist aren't even familiar to me. All right, so Green Lantern Annual 3, Volume 3, Number 3. September 1994, Ring of Evil.
Mm-hmm.
Writer David DeVries, penciler Dean Zachary, inker Andrew Petboy, color Steve Matson, letterer Kevin Cunningham, and editors Kevin Dooley and Eddie Berganza. All right, so it's saying September 94. I mean, all the annuals were Elseworlds this year, but I wonder if they were just like, yeah, you really don't want to go anywhere close to continuity because this wasn't around Emerald Twilight and Cal was taking over, so it's like.
Was this also? Did we get No, we got Legends of the Dead Earth with Guy Gardner.
Yeah.
Before, right? Or.
So so he must have not got an Elseworlds annual, yeah.
Okay, yeah, that must have been before the.
Yeah, because he only had
the Dead Earth. Because his first annual was like between 2 panels of his comic.
Yeah, it fit into like that Way of the Warrior or whatever.
And
yeah,
number 2 was the Legends of the Dead Earth.
Yeah, we did both annuals.
Yeah.
All right, so Ring of Evil. Near the end of World War II, the rebuilding of Wilhelmsburg is completed. In the lower part of the castle, Heinrich Himmler and 12 other Nazis summon forth a demon. The demon asks all if they will give up their souls to, as Himmler puts it, make the dream reality. After they agree, the demon gives Himmler a ring with the double thunderbolt on it, and the souls of all the other Nazis are pulled into the ring, making it glow yellow. The dream of Nazism ruling the world is made a reality. Okay, so yellow ring. Okay, that kind of makes sense. It's like Nazism, fear. Okay, I get it. Like, I kind of get that part, but get ready, kids. It's about to go off the rails.
Completely.
Yes. 30 years later, Hal Jordan and Guy Gardner are honored at a rally commemorating the sacrifice of the 12. After Guy tells Hal to forget about Carol Ferris and hit some bars, he leads Nazi soldiers to attack the Lanterns of the Green. In the woods, Oliver Queen, the leader of the Hooded Lanterns, passes his leadership to John Stewart. Suddenly, Guy Gardner's Nazi squad attacks the group and kills Oliver and most of the Lanterns present, taking some of them prisoner. John Stewart escapes the carnage and runs to his lover, Carol Ferris, and stays in her house. So, we don't even know why Holly was passing the leadership thing off, but because it's like, oh, hey, here, you're leader now, thwep, you're dead.
And why are they called lanterns and not arrows?
Exactly.
It makes no sense.
Well, I mean, there might be an explanation, but we never get it.
And they recite the oath. Where did that come from?
Yes, it's again, this thing like makes less and less sense the deeper you get into it. Will.
Yes.
Meanwhile, Abin Strauss runs into Hal and fights off demons who want the Ring of the 12 he has, and it is revealed the yellow ring cannot affect the iron. Elsewhere, Karelia tells Guy that the ring has been found. Dying, Abin reveals that Karelia tempted Himmler, causing him to forget the dream, and so Abin killed him. Based on earlier statements, this seems to have happened 24 years ago, and gives the ring to Hal, which pulls Abin's soul into it. Hal discovers that the ring speaks and promises him everything he wants. Guy tries to claim the ring, and Hal blasts him and the troops with him. Later, Corellia recruits Himmler's recreates Himmler's ritual using 12 lanterns of the green as sacrifices to power the ring. The ring's double thunderbolt changes to the lanterns of the green symbol, and the ring is green rather than yellow. So now we have a green ring and a yellow ring, and they're both evil.
Yes.
But meanwhile, we use the 12 souls. We use the souls of 12 good guys, but it's an evil ring.
I don't know. It's confusing.
I know. Hal arrives to find Carol and John in bed together, and despite the ring's prompting to claim her, leaves. Guy then arrives, capturing the pair and confiscating the property, which is ritually cleansed by fire. Hal, viewing the dream as corrupted, breaks in on Guy, torturing Carol and John. As they fight, Hal calls Guy's ring a ring of evil and defeats Guy. So yeah, it's right on that title's on the nose, kids.
Yeah.
After Hal frees Carol, Corellia appears, and when Corellia's view of the dream is challenged, reveals that she is the demon Himmler originally summoned.
Okay, is she supposed to be Carrie Limbo?
I don't know.
I mean, I was like,
I know.
I don't know.
I don't know. Is it because didn't Guy sleep with her? So Guy slept with the demon?
I guess. I mean, I don't know.
Oh my. John throws an iron arrow at Corellia, which destroys her. Hal tells Guy the dream. Corellia's dream is dead, but Guy refuses to believe it and impales Hal with the iron arrow. John claims Hal's ring, which complains about him being inferior and prompts him to accept the dream. But the dream he accepts is the dream of the lanterns of the green, changing his outfit to match. During the battle, John calls out to the lanterns of the green to help him, and they leave Guy's ring and enter John's. John then adds Guy's soul to the Ring of 12, and while the power remains, the voices of the ring are now silent. John states that a new order, one of freedom for all mankind, has just dawned as he changes a nearby swastika into the symbol of the lanterns of the green.
It's just...
It's pretty bad when it's a Hal Jordan's in a story, and you're like, yeah, I could have done without this.
Yeah. I mean, just Nazis, man. Nazis suck.
I know, but it's like but like you said, they try to paint Hal as like not as bad Nazi, and it's like no.
Yeah, there are no sympathetic Nazis. Okay.
And there's no guardians. The rings are like this magic spells and demons and.
Yeah, I mean, and there's no core. There's none of the trappings of Green Lantern except a magic ring.
Yes. Yeah, just Hal, John, and Guy, and yeah, rings.
And Carol.
Yes.
And Mary, maybe Carrie Limbo. I don't
know. And Ab and Strauss.
Yes.
So yeah, I mean, we probably could have just skipped this. I mean, we were being completists, but I mean, we probably could have skipped.
We did it, and now it's done, and we can move on.
It's not a good story, and again, it was an Elseworld, so it was really its own contained thing anyway. So
yeah,
but don't say we didn't do it, kids. We did it.
That's right. We took this hit for you.
You know what? That's probably the worst annual. It's behind us.
Yep. Don't have to worry about it now.
It made Eclipso, the Darkness of Within, look like Shakespeare.
Yes.
It made Bloodlines look like something great. I don't know. All right.
Oh, yes.
So,
yes, indeed.
Yeah, kids, you don't need to read it again. It's not a good story, and two, it's its own separate thing, so it doesn't affect any other Green Lantern story anywhere. So,
yeah, I would not. You know, I don't say this lightly, but I would not recommend it.
Yeah, yeah.
I feel like it was a mistake from editorial to even allow it.
Yeah. And again, it's like smack in the middle of the 90s, so it almost seemed like an excuse to like, hey, let's show some scantily clad women and
Nazis. Why Nazis?
I know. You could have. Would it have been better if they would have gone like intergalactic on another planet, and you could have had like an alien race that was like an analog to Nazis, maybe?
Yeah, I mean, it could have been. Yeah, I don't know what they were trying to do.
Exactly.
Because I don't feel like whatever they did or trying to do, I don't feel like they did it very well.
Exactly. And again, it's an Elseworlds. All you needed to do is say, hey, slap Green Lantern on the cover, have a power ring in here somewhere. It's Elseworlds. You can do whatever you want.
And you did the Nazis.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You could have it on an alien planet. You didn't even need Hal, John, and Guy.
Yeah.
If you're going to...
Okay, shall we move on?
Yes. All right. So, what do you want to hit? Because, like I said, I mean, again, the next annual is like Cal, but it's like neither one ties into the other one. So 91
I feel like the annual was stronger than 91.
Yes. Okay,
let's get 91 out of the way.
Yeah. Well, again, too, it's part of a crossover. So
yeah.
All right. So yes, kids, let's tell you a little story about a story called Genesis.
Yeah. Oh, okay. You're going to have to refresh my memory on Genesis.
I didn't do my homework, but wasn't it something was it with the Source or something? I know some people's powers were being altered and weird, funky cosmic stuff was going down, but because I think Electric Superman was having problems with his powers and stuff. And
let me see. DC Comics.
Because as a crossover, I mean, you really don't get a lot of the actual like main Genesis story in this issue. It's basically just the sod.
Okay. Genesis was a comic book crossover storyline published by DC Comics that ran through a self-titled 4-issue weekly miniseries and various tie-in issues, all cover dated October of 1997. And we just read one of those. The storyline revolves around the concept of the God Wave, an interstellar phenomenon created by the Source that spread across the universe, creating gods on its first pass before reaching the edge of the universe and bouncing back, creating demigods and metahumans on its second pass. The God Wave threatens reality when it reaches back to its starting point, altering or neutralizing the abilities of various metahumans and making ordinary humans feel like something is missing. The superheroes of Earth and the new gods of New Genesis battle Darkseid to prevent him from accomplishing his plan to seize the power of the God Wave. Darkseid forces stage an invasion of Earth before traveling to the Source Wall, where they are confronted by the heroes.
And you won't get any of that in this issue.
None of that. None of that at all.
Yeah, there's
actually, it looks like in the reading order, Green Lantern 91 comes first.
I could see that. I could see that because it's early. It seemed like it'd be early on, yeah.
And it goes Power, Shazam, Starman, Steel, Superman, Man of Steel, then Genesis #1, then Genesis #2, Azrael, Batman, Impulse, Jack Kirby's Fourth World, Sovereign 7, Supergirl, Superman, The Adventures of Superman, Aquaman, Lobo, Young Heroes in Love, Resurrection Man, then Genesis 3, then Legion of Superheroes, Robin the Spectre. This would be the John Ostrander, Tom Mandrake Spectre series.
Okay.
Superboy and the Ravers, Teen Titans, Wonder Woman, Zero with an X, and then Genesis #4. So it hit almost every title they were publishing that month, it looks like.
Yeah, it looks like, yeah. Thank you. I was going to say, I had the list, but it's in alphabetical order, so they didn't have them in order. That's right, kids. They even crowbarred Azrael into there.
That's right.
So in other words,
Suck it, Lilith.
I did not. Did I say Flash?
Did you?
I don't remember. No,
I'm looking. I don't know if
it's
it's on the list I see. I don't know if Flash is on there. Impulse is on there.
Yeah, Impulse is on there. So I guess it's
maybe not every book. Yeah.
Interesting.
So wait a minute. When was this? 97. Was that when Grant Morrison was writing the book? Here, let me look this up.
I don't remember.
Here,
I mean, that's strange because that's a pretty big, it's one of the big 7, right?
I know. Here, I'm looking it up
Wonder
now.
Woman in that list? Yeah, Wonder Woman was. Teen Titans.
Oh, yeah. You know what? Flash 130. I think it was Grant Morrison's first issue.
Interesting.
Maybe that's it. Maybe he had already had stuff written out, and they were just like, "Oh wait, there's a crossover," and he was like, "What?" All right, but let's get into Green Lantern 91. Like I said,
91.
We don't have to know most of that for this. So October 1997, Torture. As if you didn't know what was going on. All right, so writer, you know who?
This is Ron Mars. You are listening to the Capes and Lunatics podcast.
That's right. Penciler Daryl Banks, inker Chip Wallace, colorist Jason Wright, letterer Chris Iliopoulos, and I don't see an editor, so I don't know if no one wanted to take credit for this. I don't know. All right, so Kyle Rayner sits in front of his drawing board and is full of regret after he and Donna Troy split up. Cal's new roommate, Jade, tries to explain to him that Donna needs to cope with the death of her son alone. Heavy-hearted, Cal leaves his apartment to visit John Stewart. Speaking of, Cal designed a logo for John's newly founded architecture firm. John and Cal talk about Donna, Cal's mother, and also about the green energy beam John emitted when Green Lantern was fighting Fatality. I love how he was like, it's a one-time thing. It's probably not going to happen again.
Yeah. Who else we see? Former Darkstar.
Yes! And current girlfriend. Yes!
Yes. And that, I think, may be the last time we ever see her. No,
maybe? I think she might show up again. But, I mean, it's nothing major, but I'm trying to remember. She might show up again. Oh, because is she the one who says, hey, you should get out of that chair eventually?
But he's already out of the chair.
Oh, yeah. But I was going to say, during the, later on when What's-His-Face takes over, isn't he back in the chair when Fatality shows up or something?
I don't remember. I guess we'll get there.
Yeah, we'll get there. Shortly after leaving John's place, Cal gets attacked by a horde of heavily armed alien-like creatures. He transforms into Green Lantern because of a sudden power blackout of his ring. Cal gets defeated. Yes, well, Genesis.
Yes.
Oh, wait, Genesis Wave? Gone. Wasn't that Genesis?
I think so.
So, speaking of Shatner.
That's right.
Cal gets defeated when his ring blacks out. Gets defeated and wakes up in the torture chamber of the evil Desaad. The personal inquisitor of Darkseid wants to learn more about Green Lantern's powers and thus conducts all kinds of painful experiments with Cal. At first, it seems as if Cal will never have a chance to flee with his ring being powerless, but as Desaad puts a strange-looking key into a lock, Green Lantern's powers return and he's able to get away. Desaad is by no means disappointed, though. Well, that's interesting. Cal breaks free and he's like, you know what, I'm going to kick your ass. And, Desaad's like, do you really want to do that? He's like, I'm your only way home. And, there's something big coming, so.
Yeah. And that was a little bit, it was kind of a downer of an ending,
Yeah. But again, if it's at the beginning of a crossover, I guess we can't have too happy of an ending, maybe.
Yeah, exactly.
And again, is this like Mars? They told him, you have to be part of the crossover, so this is like, it's like, okay, well, because I'll do this then.
Exactly.
Because really, I mean, besides like the flashbacks to Jade and John Stewart, it's basically just like Cal getting tortured.
Yeah, I mean, that's really all it is. And
again, I think editorial mandate, it's like, yeah, you got to be part of the crossover. All right.
She appears a lot, actually, in the Green Lantern series.
I was going to say, I don't know if it was anything major, but I thought she showed up again.
144, 145, 446, 447, 48, then 166, 67, 68, 69, 70, 72, 73, and 74.
When John gets a ring again. Spoilers.
Yeah, spoilers.
Wait, so do you say 170 something?
Yeah.
I wonder if it's until Mars takes over again or something.
Maybe, and that her name is Moraine, right?
Yes.
Marin or Marin?
Something
Moraine.
Something like that. Or she might even go right up to Rebirth.
Very possibly, yeah. So, cool. I feel like the Dark Stars kind of got, what's the word I'm looking for here? A little bit used and abused.
Oh, yeah. Once that book was done, they're like, what do you think? It was just, do what you want with them.
Well, I mean, even before it was done, it was, oh, hey, guess what? Emerald Twilight happened? We're going to dump everybody that's not Green Lantern, Hal Jordan, or Parallax. And Kyle, we're going to dump them into Dark Stars. Oh, and we're going to throw Donna Troy in there for some laughs, too. So, you
think that was like editorial, or was that the writer saying, you know what, hey, or maybe it's like, hey, sales are not good, let's throw some faces in here people know, like, hey, John Stewart's available, Donna Troy's available.
Yeah, I mean, who knows at this point.
Yeah.
But it just...
I mean, I can see that trying to, like, boost sales, because before that, I mean, did we know any of these characters before Dark Star's number one?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, and the thing is, I really feel like initially it was a really good book, and then we got mired into all the other stuff. I mean, there was the crossover with Green Lantern before Emerald Twilight, then there was all the stuff after Emerald Twilight. And then I feel like it kind of got its footing back maybe once they knew they were going to end it, because it became more Dark Star focus.
Well, yeah, it seemed like they were dragging out that Colin Farris like storyline, and then I think when they found out it was ending, he was like, "Okay, got to bring him back,
and deal with this stuff." Yeah. So, I mean, and I really feel like that the title kind of lost its way during all of that. I mean, John was the Dark Star.
Yeah.
Donna was the Dark Star, and the original Dark Star team, they got rid of most of them.
I don't know if they didn't know what to do with them because they brought in Jon Stewart and it seemed like he was like doing paperwork. It's like, you have Jon Stewart. You got a veteran Green Lantern. He should be
exactly
out on the battlefield leading these guys. That's what I don't know if they knew what to do with these people,
Well, and then, and then they were fodder for, Graven.
Yeah.
Right. So,
but again, I don't know if they like nerf them because it's like, oh hey, we really don't want any intergalactic police force out. We want Cal to be like his own little, because we blew everything up. Because I'm like, once the Green Lanterns went down, shouldn't the Dark Stars have stepped up and been like, hey, we're the only thing left?
And Kyle doesn't. Kyle is Earthbound.
Yeah.
So why not have them out, in the universe doing all kinds of cool stuff? But
well, again, too, it's like It's like, do you want that? But it's like, well, we got it, maybe for sales, we got to bring in Donna Troy and Jon Stewart, so we don't want to be too far from Earth, especially with Donna.
Yeah, I don't know. It was, I'm an easy mark when it comes to, suspension of disbelief, but if I noticed it, it's like, wait, what happened to this book? Right?
I know. I mean, I guess they wanted to try to keep the book going, but maybe it would have been better if they would have ended it in Emerald Twilight, Dark Stars 2. Could you imagine if the Guardians called them in 2 and Hal kicked their asses too?
Yeah. Yeah. Or Legion. I mean, of course, Legion went on, a long time after this.
Yeah, so. Legion went on, but I'm just saying, instead of whimpering on, you could have had Hal just take out the Dark Star suits too.
Mm-hmm. Or leave one, which is really what they ended up with, one Dark Star suit at the end, so.
I mean, I don't know about a full reboot, but I mean, you could have had, he decimates the Dark Stars, and then, if have John be like, hey, I'm going to try to rebuild the Dark Stars because there's no Green Lantern rings left.
Mm-hmm.
If you wanted to bring Jon Stewart in.
And then, we don't really know what happened to Kolos, right? Because I don't think he was I need to reread the, because the Black Stars are the rival in the Grant Morrison, Liam Sharp run of Green Lantern. And I don't know if he's mentioned or incorporated into that or not, or just left off to his own.
We might have to reread that.
And we are way off topic.
That's all right. All right, but because Green Lantern 91. I mean, it was all right, but it was an obvious tie-in, and
and it feels a little bit like it was treading water, right?
Yeah. Again, I don't think Mars couldn't go too far with the story, so
yeah. Well, and he's not going to be able to have Kyle really do anything. I mean, because Desaad was, I'm sure, integral to that story. The New Gods are.
Oh yeah, they weren't going to let anything happen to Desaad. Yeah.
And the New Gods are kind of an interesting group of titles, and I'm gonna probably annoy a lot of people with this, but I just don't get them, right?
Yeah.
And I understand Kirby's massive influence on the art form and everything he did, but I always kind of feel like his DC work pales in comparison to what he accomplished at Marvel. And that might just be my ignorance, but it's from what I've read and experienced of Marvel Kirby versus DC Kirby. That's kind of where my sympathies or at least my tastes lead me. And the New Gods are kind of a hard sell, right? I mean,
yeah. I mean, I like his superhero stuff, but who do you think he did better, the New Gods or the Eternals?
Well, I lean more toward the Eternals because I have a lot of fondness for the 12-issue series that they did in the 80s, which I think Walter Simonson was on along with some other artists, and so I'm getting his Eternals by way of other creators versus the actual 70s Eternals, which
I've been trying to slog through that since the movie came out.
I think it would. I think Eternals would probably suffer from some of the same things that the New Gods in DC suffer with, because they're fairly close in time, and
they're similar, which makes sense. I mean, it's the same guy who created both of them, so
yeah. And I don't know, there are things about. I mean, you can't take. Kirby is a legend, right? You can't take away everything that he accomplished during his lifetime.
Yeah.
But that said, everything that he did doesn't necessarily appeal to me.
Yeah, no, me neither.
Right or wrong, that's just my preference.
Well, the Eternals and the New Gods were like his pet thing, right? I mean, like the earlier stuff, like Hulk and stuff. I mean, he had Stan basically working with them, so.
Yeah, and
and I'm not saying Stan's the be all end all either, but I'm just saying, you think they churned out better product when the two of them were working together?
I really kind of feel like that's the case. I mean, if you look, I don't want to oversell Stan as the creator.
Yeah, no.
But when you look at him with Kirby and you look at him with Ditko, look at what they were able to achieve when they worked together.
Yes.
Now, and when you look at Kirby with other artists, maybe they didn't achieve those heights. You look at Lee with other artists. You look at Kirby with other writers, or even himself, and they don't necessarily achieve those heights, at least in my mind.
And again, I don't think Stan's wasn't the be all end all. Sorry, people, but it's just like, I mean, look at some of the stuff he did for other companies in the later years. I mean, I think there was just Stan was a good collaborator. He too was also better when he was working with Jack or Steve Ditko, John Romita Sr.
Yes. John Buscema.
Yes. Yes.
So that's way off topic, but that's kind of my
again we can get off topic because I mean these random issues, it's not like in one big storyline or anything.
And I don't want to take anything away. I mean, there are a lot of people that New Gods speak to, and that's great for them.
Yes.
It just doesn't speak to me. And that's not to say that it's bad. It's not to say that it's good. It just doesn't speak to me.
Yeah, no, it's basic. Eternals and New Gods are basically on the same level for me. I'm just like, it's okay, but it's not my cup of tea either.
Well, and I'm also, a lot of the really important comics of my youth are in the 80s. You look at Claremont with some amazing artists on, Uncanny X-Men. You look at the Avengers with John Buscema, Roger Stern writing it. Roger Stern on Spider-Man. J.M. DeMatteis pronounced his name, and I can't remember. I'm gonna have to go back and watch it. It's Michelini, I think, is how Michaelini or something.
I forget.
Like
I always say Michelini, but I forget how he said it. Yeah,
I'm gonna have to go back and look at it. But him working with some great artists on Spider-Man. I mean, there's so many awesome. Frank Miller on Daredevil. Walter Simonson on Thor. Those are a different tone than the books from the 60s and the 70s, right? There's a maturity there that I guess speaks to me because that's when I hit them. When I was the proper age, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. I'm again right. It depends. But again, we got a lot of good stuff, in our youth, or even through reprints and stuff. Hell, people came back. I mean, I remember reading Spider-Man Jerry Conway in the late 80s, early 90s. That was like his second pass through.
Yeah, I mean, even, you look at Roy Thomas. He was editor-in-chief for a while. He also wrote Avengers and, lots of things over there. I mean, everything Marvel put out in the 60s and 70s was not a hit.
Yeah.
Everything that DC put out in the 60s and 70s was not a hit.
Exactly.
And the 80s, I mean, it really is, I love Green Lantern. But there are some not so great Green Lantern stories that have been published.
Well, I mean, come on, show me a character who's been around for decades where multiple writers where they don't have one bad story somewhere.
Oh yeah, and I think we talked a little bit about this maybe last week, but I was shocked at the number of issues of Green Lantern from the 70s to the mid 80s that had backup stories. So the initial story was only like, 12, 15 pages, maybe maybe less, and that's really kind of wild because most other books you're getting 22 pages or 18 pages or 17 pages depending on where you fall in the late 70s and the 80s. But then to take a third of those away for a backup story that might have been Tales of the Green Lantern Corps, which is awesome.
Yeah.
But Adam Strange was in there for a while, and quite a while actually. And yeah, I feel like Green Lantern didn't really get to kind of come into its own. Because there were a lot of great writers and artists on it, during that time. But, you've got this many pages and you've got a backup that's going in there. And, are you going to have to shoehorn Green Arrow in or not?
Yeah.
Or
yeah, DC seemed to do a lot of backups in, that era.
And then, Steve Englehart came on the book. And I think he wrote it out till the end, when it changed over to Green Lantern Corps. Mm-hmm. And, from him we get... Aricia, I think. We get Salak, we get Kilowog. We get some pretty cool characters. And if I remember right, doesn't Tomar Ray die in Crisis? Is that where he dies?
Maybe. Or was it like was that the like a Green Lantern crossover with Crisis? Because does Hal get his ring?
I think maybe he does.
It might be like 199 or something. Yeah, I think it's like around 200 there. Yeah. I'm trying to remember. Yeah, that might be the ring Hal gets because he doesn't get his old. John's wearing his old ring, so.
And now he has Abin Sur's ring back, which I think is interesting, and I'm curious to see how far and wide that goes in the Green Lantern. Because
because how did John do? Is John rewinding time and space? Does
Kyle have his ring? Because we know that wasn't Hal's ring, right?
Yeah,
or it wasn't Abin Sur's ring because it was.
Did he rip it off? I was gonna say, did he rip it off Malvolio's hand? They have never mentioned Malvolio. I mean, come on, somebody needs the balls to say, yes, Malvolio.
Anybody watching this is like, God damn it, they're Malvolio kick. Will they just shut up already?
I remember some of those letters pages. I think people around Emerald Twilight, they're like, oh, is this Malvolio controlling Hal through that ring? And I'm like, no, don't mention that name.
It's Parallax.
Exactly. No one's controlling him. 94, no one's controlling him. His grief. All right.
2004.
Yes.
Is Parallax.
All right, we're running late, so I don't want to give short shrift to the best issue of this week.
Yeah, that was a really good issue. Great art by Jeff Johnson. He's just an awesome artist.
It just seems such a shame because this is the one that's not on the app. I can't even find a synopsis for this issue, but it's good.
Yeah, it was really good. I mean, it's a clear homage to John Carter of Mars, and it's just fun.
Yeah, because
it's a lot of fun.
Because again, 97, they were doing all these Paul Piro. That was the theme for 97. Yeah, and so what? Yeah, Cal picks up this painting by this artist who I guess isn't the most highly regarded, and then
turns out he created a world.
Yeah, takes it home and gets sucked into the painting. Yeah, and his ring doesn't work. His ring acts weird in there.
Yeah, it works according to the laws of the plane that he's on, I guess, or something. It's really, but I mean, it's a lot of fun. I mean, it's you can see the Princess of Mars type character, Deja Thoris, who
because I was gonna say,
you get kind of a travel log, which is what that novel is essentially a travel log of John Carter being on Mars and seeing all these strange sights. So you get something similar, but then it's also leading to the creator who is the painter, right?
Yeah, because Cal's ring is acting weird, and he can't recharge it. He doesn't have the battery, so yes, he strikes out with this princess and these.
Maybe he should have that on a satchel strap or something. I don't know.
Well, he didn't plan on getting sucked into that painting either. Will.
That's true, but him not having the battery is a little bit of a recurring theme every now and then.
I know. I mean, I could see it here. He let his guard down. He was in his apartment. He's like, oh, what's the worst thing gonna happen? So yes, they go on this journey. Yeah, and the creator, who's basically the artist who created the painting and this whole world. So we never do get an explanation. Is he supposed as a higher being or a mutant or something? How did he create this world?
He poured his imagination into it and then was able to travel to it.
But yeah, eventually everyone disappears except Kyle and this artist because they were the only real ones. And then Cal helps him rebuild this world with his the last of his ring power. He's like, I'm probably never going to get to go home again.
Yeah. And his imagination.
Yes. Yeah, because they're rebuilding the world. He's like, wait a minute. Instead of just this sea, how about a whole ocean?
Yeah. And that's something when, we had Demetrius on, his love of Green Lantern, because, will coupled with imagination is not just, it's not just a theme, or it's a way of life. It's a way to live. And I thought that was incredibly insightful of him.
Yes. And of course, the creator sends Kyle back and no time has passed.
But his ring's empty.
and Jade's like, wait a minute, that painting completely changed.
Yeah.
So his real kids. So I wonder what Cal did. I mean, we never hear about this again, but it's like, I wonder what Cal does with that painting. It's like, do you take it to the Justice League? Do you lock it up somewhere? So,
good question.
Does that world count on that painting to survive, or is it just like a gateway?
Is it another Earth? Is it like 53? I mean, I don't know. Of course, infinite frontier now at this point.
Hyper time, because there was no multiverse at this point, remember?
That's right. It's hyper time. But yeah, I mean, I really enjoyed this story.
Yeah.
It was beautiful. It really was beautiful. And it was, Jeff Johnson's art, but the colorist also. And I don't remember who the colorist was on the issue. But, I mean, it's a beautiful issue. It really is.
John Cleese color?
I'm not familiar. I'm only familiar with this work of his at this point, I guess. But it was, I mean, it really is, it's, the art's beautiful and it's a good, fun story. And
yeah, the writing and like even like the art is like of its time, but also kind of like honors like the pulp feel that they were going for in all these annuals. Yeah, like especially if you like a one of like a fantasy adventure thing like Lord of the Rings. Yeah, you would like this issue. Yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Undersea creatures, floating cities.
The breathing sea or something like that you can breathe. I mean, there's just so many really cool, locales that they visit in here. Yeah, it's just a lot of fun.
And once again, it's the 90s, so naked princesses, yeah.
Yeah, of course. This is the 90s.
But yeah, no, again, I think we're in complete agreement. Yes, this was the best issue of the week, yeah.
And,
the best annual, definitely.
Definitely the best annual. The issue 91, was there another artist on that besides Darryl Banks, or was it just Darryl Banks?
I think it was just Darryl Banks, but I want here, do I still have that up? Let me see. I wonder, was it maybe like a different inker or something?
Maybe. I mean, because there were a few places I thought, well, that doesn't look like Banks did it to me, but it could have just been, me. The list I have here just says Darryl Banks, but yeah, the inker, like I said, it's Chip Wallace. Like that's not his usual inker, so I wonder if it's the different inks or Jason Wright. Did he color him before? So I don't remember.
So I was gonna say he might have like a different inker and colorist. So that might be the
because I mean he's a really good artist, but there were a couple of places I saw that things just looked a little off, and that may have been the inker or the colorist on that.
Yeah, I mean, some of the panels didn't seem like it was a little darker, which kind of makes sense. I mean, he's getting tortured.
Yeah,
you want like a dark, it's a dark story.
It's not happy, shiny, fun time.
All right, William. So anything else?
We have any other Green Lantern news at this point?
I don't think. I think Dark Crisis is the big thing. We did good tonight. We hit Dark Crisis. We hit Jack Kirby.
We did mention that for fans of the Green Lantern animated series, of which I count
yeah, we did. Yes, I did mention that last week. Yes, they did call that out on an episode of Young Justice. Did you watch it?
I haven't watched it yet.
Okay.
It's on my list. I want to because I mean that series. I want to go back and watch it again because Green Lantern the animated series is just so amazing.
Kids, he's telling the truth. I mean, he talks about it every week. Yeah. If not on here with me, yes, yeah, every week.
And it has a great soundtrack, which you should go out and listen to as well. It's awesome.
Oh yeah. All right. So you want the homework?
What's the homework, man?
All right. So next week is the next Green Lantern Green Arrow team up. Green Arrow 125 and 126 and Green Lantern 92. So unlike last time, there was 4 issues. This one's only going to be 3.
Okay. And what's the title? What's this crossover again?
Is it Hate Crimes or something? Is that it?
Maybe. I can't remember.
Because I think it's like might be more street level, which makes sense because 2 of the 3 issues are Green Arrow's books. So, oh, and that's right. In 2 weeks, another crossover because we're gonna get Green Lantern 93, 94, and Superboy 47.
And this was Superboy was in Hawaii, right?
Yes, leather jacket and all. Yes. And then in 3 weeks, remember another crossover. Green Arrow will be back because Green Lantern, 95 is its own thing, but then we get Green Lantern also 96, Green Arrow 130, and The Flash 135.
Okay, and then we get 97, 98, and 99.
No, then we get Green Lantern Sentinel Heart of Darkness 1 through 3.
Gotcha.
And then we get 97 through 99.
And then we take a break.
Summer of 69.
Right. And we do some Silver Age Hal Jordan Green Lantern stories from 1969, which is actually long before I was born. So I wasn't even alive then.
And then when we come back, it'll be Emerald Knights with 2 Hal Jordan. So yes, you'll be getting some Hal Jordan for a while.
Nice.
So I thought he wouldn't mind that detour. But yes, kids, all of the shows on the Capes and Lunatics Sidekicks and pretty much Ultimate Spider-Cast, the Devil You Know, the Daredevil podcast, and the new Avengers Declassified. Everyone's going to be doing Summer of 69 and in July. So, because me and Charlie we started that Avengers show. I was like, wait a minute, the Thor movie comes out, Thor Love and Thunder comes out in July. Then I was like, wait a minute, it's Summer 69. So what are we going to do, Will? All the Thor issues from 1969.
Nice. Trying to think what those...
Well,
it had been renamed Thor at that point. It was no longer Journey into Mystery.
No. Right? It was Thor. Yeah, because I remember I was trying to sell it to Charlie, and I pulled up what's January 1969 for Thor. I think it was it issue 160 or something. Galactus is on the cover. I'm like, oh, I got him.
Old.
Yes. I think it starts with Galactus at the end of the year. Like the Wrecker comes in. So
nice. It's funny. So when will we hit 100 of this series?
For Green Lantern. Oh wait, episode 100?
Yeah. Well, no. Issue 100.
Oh, issue 100. I believe. First weekend of August.
Okay, so from the start. Well, when did we hit? We're already 50 issues into Kyle at that point, and there's only 80 left.
Oh yeah.
I mean.
I told you if we get too much done, we could slow down and only do 1 or 2 issues a week, or go back and do some old stuff. Don't worry, Will.
I know. Oh, I mean, it's just we were,
Oh, I know.
Once we got Guy Gardner, and
I
Dark
told
Stars
you
out of the
once
way.
we got cleared Guy Gardner and Dark Stars, man, it's gonna fly, and it is.
Yeah, I mean, and then when we hit, Rebirth, we're gonna get
2 or 3 books a month at some points. Yeah,
4 books a month at one point. Guardian Corps, and
I can't wait for that stuff because I didn't read a lot of Sinestro Corps like Red Lantern, so that's gonna be interesting.
I'm looking forward to Red Lanterns, which was that written by friend of the show at some point, J.M. DeMatteis, maybe?
Was it? I can't remember.
Oh, and we've got before we get to Rebirth, we've also got to do the Spectre series, which
that'll slow us down a little bit in
very
a good
good.
way. That'll
very,
slow us
very
down.
good.
That'll slow us down in a good way.
Yeah, that's 27 issues, so that'll be at least maybe 6 episodes.
Well, I'm trying to remember because I think I might have did like
maybe 4.
Yeah,
episodes.
the first one we do will be episode 93. I did the first 8 issues, and then episode 95, 9 through 17. I mean, it's 1, 2. Yeah, it'll be at least 4 or 5 episodes. So yeah, and again,
awesome.
a good way to slow us down a little bit. All right, so. Oh, I also wanted to shout out Matt Kona, the awesome Matt Kona. Remember, he sent us those signed Quasar issues.
Oh, yes, he did.
I just found out, I believe yesterday. Yeah, I have mine over here. He sent Ray one
to Australia.
Yes, he sent him Quasar 93 or 23 signed, the Ghost Rider one. Yeah,
nice.
So I just want to shout out that Matt Kona. He snuck it into an issue into Australia. Way to go!
Way to go, man! Way to go!
Yep. All right. So yes, kids, send us your thoughts on upcoming Green Lantern, your favorite comic creators, Dark Crisis, Mother Teresa Macona. Email us, CapesandLunatics@gmail.com, or call the voicemail 614-382-2737. That's 614-38-CAPES. And remember, you can follow Sector 2814 on Facebook, on Twitter. Join the Green Lantern fan group on Facebook. Also, please, it's free. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Every episode we do gets a video, whether it's a regular episode like this, creator interviews, everything gets on YouTube. So smash that subscribe button so you don't miss a moment of it.
Smash it!
And please, most importantly, please subscribe to our Patreon. Everything. Again, we're paying for this out of our own pockets, but $3 to $5 gets you early access to creator interviews. Mr. DG Chichester every month talking about a genius.
I got the good mic out for you guys.
Can you say it for me again? Because I'd love to hear you say it.
What?
Monthly Chichester chats.
The monthly Chichester chats. Trying to get Lil to do the jingle she's been doing. Chichester chats.
I got the good mic out for you guys.
And superhero movie brackets. We will find the worst superhero movie of all time. April's episode is up. We crowned a Marvel winner. And then May, we will start the DC with Batman Forever versus Batman and Robin.
Wow. You're a strong man.
So, Batman will win. But so I know who's going to love that episode. One of our patrons.
Batman. My favorite character.
Yes. Yes, because it'll be that. And then in June, it's going to be Superman 3 versus Superman 4 because Charlie and Lilith both have opposing strong views on those. So,
wait, okay, Superman
3 was the one with Richard Pryor.
Superman 4 is the Quest for Peace.
Yes.
Okay, yes, I remember both of those now.
Yes.
Thank you for putting that back into my head.
And then, of course, in July, we're going to drag William into it as we pit Green Lantern against Catwoman, the Halle Berry Catwoman. So, Ryan Reynolds versus Halle Berry. Who's going to get the Razzie? All right. And pick yourself up some Capes and Lunatics and Capes and Lunatics Sidekicks merch. You can find everything we just talked about all in one place. That's Linktree, linktr.ee/CapesandLunatics. And again, Mr. Macona sending care packages to Australia of comics. Find him everywhere on social media, hopefully back here soon, but on social media everywhere at Macona, MATTKONA, from Boston. So yes, we miss you, Matty.
He gives me his bone.
All right, William Allred, master of the core, master of the Quantum Zone, Hal Jordan, #1 fanboy, master of the crossover division. Where can people find you?
Lots of places, apparently. You can find me
Popular.
at Wallred. That's at WALLRED at Gmail or Twitter and Facebook and probably other places that I don't remember setting up. I also have a Linktree, thanks to Phil's good advice. You can get Linktree, that's linktr.ee/Wallred, WALLRED, which has all these links. You can find out information about Crossover Division at crossoverdivision.com. We talked to the printer today, so Crossover Division #3 is going to be printed very soon and shipped out to backers. And then we'll be launching Crossover Division 4 as soon as that's fulfilled. Also, if you want to check out Diary of Night at diaryofnight.com, that's another book that was put out a few years ago via Kickstarter. And then, of course, the Quantum Zone, quantumzone.org for all things Quasar.
I'll put it in my navel.
Hey, boys, you look at the party? I love the party. I hope it's going somewhere nice. They aren't even attempting to enter our orifices.
Star Blast.
Star Blast. Oh my god.
Star Blast.
Star Blast. All right, kids. Thank you for joining us again. In 1 week, Green Arrow's back. Connor Hawk. Then in 2 weeks, we get Superboy. Then in 3 weeks, we get Green Arrow and the Flash.
And then we get Golden Age Green Lantern.
Yes, Alan Scott. Get a road trip to the future. Then we get Summer of '69. Prime Hal Jordan.
That's right. Well, I don't know.
We'll see. We'll see. Out of that oregano, we'll see. All right, kids. Come back next time. And remember, art is always a good investment. Good night.
Hi, I'm Russell.
And I'm Justin.
And we're from the Tones.
Hold up. Listen up, you nerds. Tired of being a little goody two-shoes? Had enough of always talking about acts of courage and heroism? Well, you have come to the right place, I guess. Tomes of Evil is the comic book supervillain podcast, where every month we do a deep dive on a different comic book supervillain, as well as multiple sub-series on some of the most iconic foes of all time, including Darkseid, Doctor Doom, Scarecrow, and...
Name's Hobgoblin, and you're right on time for your funeral.
I better be getting paid for this. So what are you guys waiting for? Bring on the bad guys.
Tomes of Evil, a comic book villain podcast.